Drive, Biker, Knobhead. He'd actually just put a bird over in post. He'd just cut to it, and then that was made out that it was being followed by a drone in selfie mode kind of thing, and it hit it. And then people. I noticed actually a CAA approved operator doing it, and it was too late because I was going to say, wait, it's an April Fool's joke, but it suckered it. I almost suckered the MPAS one actually because it was so. It was one of those that was so daft, but you could just see somebody at the DFT having sat around and had a meeting and said, actually, that's a really good idea. They basically said that they were planning to deploy drones out of the helicopter while flying over to an incident. And I'm like, surely not. But I just couldn't not believe at the same time. I thought, this has got to be an April's Fool's, but I've got to ask.
But things we know.
Depends which side of the tail rotor they'd positioned that drone in, whether it was suck or blow, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we know that NPCC may have been deploying them out of moving cars, so it's not that far from reality.
Well, that's what was in my head was, if you're going to deploy from a moving car and think that's safe, the next way to go is let's do it from a helicopter.
Yeah, absolutely, and of course it's happening in Ukraine.
Hey, we're late. We should be on air. You missed
we are on air.
We are on air. I didn't even see. Oh my goodness! Just as I wasn't using profane language, wasn't it? Oh,
like how you ever do. No, you were busy chatting away as we went over this. I'll start it. Yeah,
I think that was naughty because you didn't warn me either, and I'm prone to saying things.
Yeah, he's trying to trick us. He's just trying to suck us in. Hey, have you got one of these? These are brilliant, aren't they? Look, I got this the other day.
Oh, have you got one as a gizzard?
See that?
I actually do have something like that, but yeah, did you get that as a review?
No, I got it from the local $2 shop.
Oh, really? What's it? Is it?
It's a tablet that you can write on, right? So your thing, and then when you finish, you press this little button, and it all goes away.
It's that doesn't connect to your computers, is it?
No, it's so simple. It's just those old things you used to have with like a wax backing and some paper, and when you push it down, it's the electronic version of that. It's got a battery and everything, but it's so handy for making little notes because I end up with piles of paper because I write things on bits of paper. With this thing, I can just write my notes down, then clear it, and it's done. Be nice if it transferred to the computer, but it doesn't. But for $2, I mean, gee,
$2. Piles of paper, you say? What, like this sort of thing? Yeah,
because that's New Zealand $2. In fact, here in New Zealand, we burn money because the paper's worth more than the face value of the currency. Keeps us warm in the winter.
But I don't know what I would do if I got rid of my pile of paper because I wouldn't.
Even tried having books, but then I have a pile of books. So being able to dispense, I finally have a paperless office.
Oh look, I'm getting ready for another video. I've just made a scale model. Do you think can you work out what this platform is and the scale?
Is it a glide bomb?
I thought it's much better than a 3D render. I thought, it took me hours, but it's still got biscuits in it as well. So hours and hours and hours.
You could use it to deliver aid to poor countries with biscuits in it.
Biscuits that's ready to go. You see, it's a scale model. Just exactly. You jumped straight there. You jumped straight to the point because you'd have scale biscuits, 2 meter tall biscuits. It would be great. Just feed the many.
And if there were people from Israel, they could have bagels and.
Oh, careful. Careful. Yes. Hello, MTV. Hello, Johnny. Well, look, no one else is going to join us because they will have forgotten the time zone change.
Ian will be here in 2 hours' time. He'll have gone the wrong way with his clock.
He will have gone.
Wales is a time domain all of its own, isn't
it? Well, he's on a holiday in North.
They're still in the 1800s there, I think.
They are still on the 1800s. Yes, it's quarter to 1910. That's right. It's just coming. He's actually on a holiday in Minehead, so enjoy your holiday in Minehead. He's in North Somerset, but he's been in Devon today, so he's been time traveling, gone back a long way there. Right. So we're all very, very, very worried about the dangers of drones and mid-airs and hitting babies, hitting children, incidents and all that sort of thing. And we've seen this, haven't we, today? This is this one. Yes, the bit of space battery that's gone through a house in Florida.
Doesn't it prove what I've been saying for many years? Falling space junk is a bigger threat than drones.
Well, it's quite a sizable amount of damage, isn't it? What a thing. And I guess NASA's had it back, but really, he probably could have made a fortune out of that, I reckon.
Yeah.
Absolute fortune. And it's interesting that the image is from the Daily Mail, because that leads me very nicely in. I thought, are we going to comment any more on that, or just like, wow,
yeah,
wow. Philip Wonka. No, Philip Wonka may not be making an appearance today because my power's only not long come back on. So, but Philip, there we are. Ian says 1860, and that's not the time exactly. It's in Minehead. It's 1950 in Minehead. That's what it is. It's 1950 in Butlins there. I've doxed him, haven't I? I've given away his position exactly. Right. Let's jump to share this tab instead, because it was interesting. That was a Daily Mail, because young Ian has had another court victory. Do you want to explain this court victory?
Not quite court victory. You'll need to zoom this in and then scroll up and down. But this is, you have to scroll it even more on this. Zoom in if you can, Gary, just for the benefit of the audience.
Benefit of the audience? We don't work like that. What are you talking about?
The guy that turns up and watches us.
Yeah.
So this is my first attempt at doing an IPSO complaint. So it is worth the drone community doing this, because it can work, as we will see here with the before and afterwards of a Daily Mail article. So I couldn't talk about this when it's in progress, because funnily enough, although it's not a court thing, they have a process that's very similar to the tribunal. So it's basically the details of the correspondence as they're going on are in confidence, and if you break that, they'll generally just close down the complaint and rule against you. So I couldn't go into what the backwards and forwards as it was going on in detail, but what we can do here is we can use the power of the internet, what's in the public domain, and you can see the capture of this story originally and the capture of it after I have done my meddling, using the power of justice and honesty and truth. So if we scroll to the top to begin with.
Yeah. There we are there.
Yeah, so I can see which way around I put it. So on the left, we have what it was originally. So I've only gone for so much in this. I've gone for like the worst bits of it, because the problem I had was this goes back to the NPCC figures, of which they were arm twisted by the Home Office to get the CAA to put into their consultation. So this is the 18,290 story, but this was then it was all sort of jazzed up, and a lot of what shouldn't have been there was here in this story, and that's what's basically got rolled back. So for starters, you'll see at the very beginning, it's 18,290 complaints about drone misuse, and now it has gone to incidents about drone flights. Because what I said, this is at the bullet points at the top, Gary, we're on at the minute. So it's the first bullet point. So it's gone from complaints about misuse into just incidents about drone flight. So it's basically what I've been able to do is soften the story a lot for it to be accurate. So I can't turn it from a negative story into a positive story, because the paper can argue, well, we're just reporting what the police had said to us, basically. But what I can do is say, well, wait a minute, you can't say it's drone misuse, because I did the freedom of information. I showed them, I said, categorically here, it's recorded legitimate use by commercial operators, and it's recording police doing legitimate operations for the good of society and so on. So it records a lot. It's primarily probably legal use that's in there. So I was able to argue that. They then said that criminal use of drones had risen by 10%. So I said, no, you can't argue it's criminal use because I've proven to you it's not criminal use to begin with. So you can't argue an increase on something you can't argue. So it's just gone to incidents have risen by 10%. Fair enough. And so that was to begin with. And then when we go down, anything where actually there's one here that's, I think, not as quick as that. Up a little bit more. There's one that's sneaked through here, which I probably haven't done. Oh, go down a little more. Just stop there. Stop.
Who gave Gary control of this?
So
that's where we stopped.
You see on the left and right, it says drone misuse. Every misuse should have come out of that. So they've ignored. They've accidentally on purpose allowed one through, I think, there. So that should have gone, because that's what I was squishing throughout of it, was saying drone misuse. But I got another one here now. I didn't know when I did this, but you can argue misleading stock imagery. So if I'd have known, I'd have had that Phantom replaced with Mavic. So this is one to bear in mind for future. So if you see stories, and we know they'll always use a Phantom, they'll normally use the Phantom with the scary face on it, is make a complaint and mention the stock. But here, underneath the stock, not bad enough that the media have changed from multi-rotors to drones. They're now going spy drones. I said, you can't call them spy drones. I don't think there's been a single case in court that's even of drones being used to spy. So if you scroll down a little bit so we can see it on the right. So it just goes to drones. So I can't get rid of the rest of it because you could still argue there is some criminal misuse, but I have been able to at least get rid of spy drones. So again, it's been softened down. If you scroll on further, there might be something else, or there might not be. So it's quite a short story. But it is interesting here, though, that Katie Bourne, she's the police and crime commissioner that sits above Sussex Police, that did obviously involved in Gatwick. So it's quite interesting. They picked everyone here that they knew wanted to get you absolutely just give the drone industry a kicking. It just smacks of that story that someone's gone out of the way to put this to the press and pick the people they know will be quite happy to say something derogatory. It's when you just see the names in stories, you know the spin that's going to come out of them. Unfortunately, I did mention the AirProx in here, but AirProx is difficult to argue right now. That's what we mentioned on the previous week that I've asked, and fingers crossed one day if the AirProx board put some kind of disclaimer in there, then we could use that with Ipso to stories like this to actually, because there's one that's just gone out in the last few days, and it's gone all the way past saying there would have definitely been an air disaster and all these casualties and stuff. You just can't say stuff like that. But at the minute, if they just say there's been this AirProx, they can get away saying that because AirProx they'll just say, well, we're just saying what it says on there, and we're just accidentally on purpose not giving the context around it. But
of course, that's been sort of trounced a little bit. Not trounced, but it's been highlighted this week with this one in America where almost instantaneously the FAA have said, oh, no, it was probably birds or something or whatever. But just as I'll say, as I've been saying everywhere I can post it, these pilots these days need to be answering under caution when they're talking about these things. And let's not forget, I can't remember what the technical term is for it, but there is a technical term for it. But several pilots have committed suicide with passengers on board and taken the passengers with them. And those numbers way outstrip the deaths by Phantoms and etc. at the moment.
Yeah, BBC on their documentary, which was worth watching, is it MH370? Is that the one? Yeah. They looked and said potentially there's been 400 deaths in the last decade from pilot suicide. Obviously, you can't prove all that yet, but there is a potential there that it could have been. So that's a far bigger threat than drones ever will be.
And poor boardroom decisions.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
well, yeah, very sadly. Yeah. So that spaceship debris, etc., etc., etc. We can create a little bit of a list, can't we? And you also had a bit of a victory. And I don't have the win, or not a victory so much, but a well done. I don't think we spoke about it last week. A well done.
Don't get carried away, Gary. It's only Ian.
Well, no. It's only Ian. Oh, all right. No, but you've been cited in sort of a lawyer's magazine thing, website thing, saying,
yes,
this could get a bit tasty.
B&D Monthly. I saw that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, we know you've got a subscription.
But yeah, the case has been cited with the Freedom of Information victory, saying that it was significant because the tribunal had looked at the public interest argument and they'd basically overruled the Information Commissioner and said it could set a precedence for future cases. So really, Sussex Police, by the way they are acting, they've effectively weakened for the entire forces in the UK now their arguments with the freedom of information, because you've got what are called qualified exemptions. A qualified exemption means you can claim this exemption, so you can claim it's policing national security, but it's weighed up against the public interest. And so far, the police have been winning on the side of those, and now because of this, that's weakened their ability in future to use that and get away with it. So Sussex Police are really, they're not doing the entire policing any benefits at the minute. And actually, at this point in time, they must be in contempt of court. So I need to go back to the tribunal and flag this to them and see what they're going to do, because on the 1st of March, they were given 28 days to answer the Freedom of Information requests. One of them I've had no response whatsoever. And the other one, they're not answering the question that I'd asked, as we covered on last week, that at this point in time, the police are denying that Aeroscope was on top of Gatwick Police Station, and yet there's photos of it quite clearly on Gatwick Police Station. So it's a bizarre situation when you're arguing a stance where there's photographic evidence to the contrary, but that's where we are, which is bizarre. But yeah, I said, from what I can see, no authority has been done for contempt of court. One council went down the route, but basically their argument was along the lines that they were that incompetent and in so much disarray, they'd accidentally not replied to it and then did so in the end. So I think they're potentially going to be the first authority and the first police force. So they're going to make a bit of legal history in their own right for all the wrong reasons.
That's just amazing. I muted myself because somebody had mentioned my tapping was distracting, so I'm sorry about my tapping. And I was wondering if Cool Cat was, that's why I've typed it, was there on the ceremony, because I'm sure when Ian left to go on holiday in England, they lined the bridges out of Wales and were waving flags and everything to see him off, or raising fingers, perhaps even in a single or double digit kind of way. No, it's just amazing. Well done that your FOIA work has potential for helping all sorts of other people outside of the drone industry. That really is, that's quite a thing. It's very impressive, and they must hate your name. They must all hate your name very, very muchly now. Now, let's jump on to another thing. Now I've lost the screen where I'm so good at this. It's seamless, really. It's absolutely seamless. Everyone's getting excited about this. Meh, I don't even know if there's a picture of it. Are you excited? Bruce,
yeah, well, I won't go quite as far as excited, but yeah, I'm the thing is, if you see these things and you go, yeah, it's just an update. If you've ever used an Avata or seen one used or seen the footage that comes out of it, you'll know it was actually really good, but it had some significant failings that they're fixing here. So I think they've relocated the SD card. Actually, getting the SD card in and out was a proper exercise. You needed someone from NASA to come across and help you do it. They put it in such an inconvenient location, And also the camera was really pretty poor, because you got to think about it. The Avata was designed mainly for doing stuff like flying indoors. Now in indoors, you don't generally have as good light. Yet they put a camera on it that was really struggling, so you get a lot of noise, and it's a kind of nasty digital noise that even really good post tools like it's called Neat Denoiser, and it does a really good job with the SLR cameras. Well, I say SLR, mirrorless and all that. But even that struggles a bit with the Avata, because it's just, it's kind of nasty square blocks. So for me, I'm thinking this is great, because you can just see, looking at that lens at the front, that optically this is going to be better. So I'm interested from that viewpoint, that you'll actually be getting, because at the end of the day, this is stuff that could definitely go and record and be used on TV. You could get away with it even in a movie briefly, because
that's not the right picture, is it?
They put a very
because now they have upward facing motors now.
Oh, do they? Well,
they've gone conventional.
This is man,
to reduce the noise.
To reduce the noise.
Yeah, because I've always said if you have a turbulent airflow going over a propeller, it makes a heap of noise. That's why wings are so noisy with pusher props. You have the motor above the struts, and therefore you get a smooth airflow into the props, and it's much quieter. And I think the biggest complaint people had about the original one was the noise level.
Well, this is what, in our more grown-up world, this is what we should be more excited about, is this launch. Now I'm going to share this tab instead. I should have shared this one first. Anyone know anything about that green color? Anyone
Someone's wiped their nose on that, haven't they? Eh?
Someone's wiped their nose on that, yeah. This one, and I don't know who his buddy Mickey has yielded. I don't know what that comment means down there, Bruce. Maybe you can think about that and explain it to me. But this is going to be really put the cat amongst the pigeons, if it's what I think it is. So you can see it's happening on the 17th. And this is the webinar. That is one. I'm convinced that is one of the Malaysian DJI.
Yeah.
They're not clones; they're the real things.
But which one? Which one?
Hang on. Let's which one? Yeah, I know.
Who can work it out?
I've been puzzling over this for quite some time now. And which one is it? I wonder. Exactly, you got it. So yeah, it'll be very, very interesting to see how that plays out. And if well, you can see, join us on join the fun on LinkedIn, dear viewer. I wish more people that watch this would come and join in and
LinkedIn. It's just LinkedIn. Facebook for grown-ups.
Well, it's not even that. It's not even that. It's not even that. No, it's not even that. It's absolute. It's so pretentious. It's unreal.
Pretentious.
But that's
what?
Yeah, quite so. That's why I enjoy it so much, because you can really wind people up. It's much because you can't. It's Facebook. It's just like your aunt and stuff, isn't it? So you can't really wind them up.
It's only old people use Facebook now. All the young people have gone off to other things.
They have.
Speaking of winding people up, that's what TikTok's for, isn't it? You wind up, it goes TikTok.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and it doesn't last for long. Doesn't last for long.
Instaface is the place to be. Bebo, what happened to Bebo? MySpace, those were the great GeoCities for the win.
Back in the day. Do you
remember GeoCities?
Yeah.
Good,
my dad told me about it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
His granddad told him about it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but plainly these things are coming from Malaysia. Plainly it's going to be next month, because that other one, should have had it ready. They've launched their website. It's got stuff on it now. And as we know from our man last week, the small one was coming. Oh, no, the website's not wanting to work now. That's interesting. Is it my internet? Am I still here? Unfortunately, yes.
You'll still be here. We can still see you.
Yeah. That's interesting. What didn't it do? It was working earlier today.
It's probably a geofenced zone.
Yeah.
Can't access it because you're in the wrong place.
Yeah. What? I should be in another room or something.
Yeah. Did you notice that news story, Andres, was geofenced? That one that Brendan Schulman posted to X. There's a story about some guy with a drone, and I went to it and it says, you don't live you're not in a country in America. well, you're in a country outside America. And I thought, well, I didn't know there were countries inside America, but that they wouldn't let me see it. I thought, that's crazy.
I think it's to do with EU. It's to do, I think, with GDPR and that. So they're not happy complying with the exact rules. So I think basically,
why would that matter?
We'll just block
if they're not in the EU can't do a damn thing about it. So why would you bother? I don't have special cookies on my websites. Like I accept all the cookies. Damn you! If you're from the EU, that's just tough. And what are they going to do? Extradite me to face charges for giving people cookies without their permission?
These organisations will have they'll have the side that is in the EU though, so you'll be able to get them that way. So that's why they'll comply.
It's a regional American TV channel. I don't think they'll have a EU site.
No, probably not in that case.
Yeah, it's just crazy. In response to the recovery drone, yes, Mikey, the Philly Drone Life guy, he's yielded to the pressure of the FAA to be compliant and be a nice guy, but he had no option. His back was against the wall. It was that'll pay $182,000 in fines, which he doesn't have. So they basically told him to bend over and administer the appropriate treatment. So he's, it's probably not his fault. Anyone would probably do the same thing.
So what's happened to the fines? They're still there, or they said
it's still up in the air. I think what's happened is basically they said, we want you to be compliant. We threatened you with fines. You weren't compliant. So, we can go ahead with these fines now unless you're compliant. So he's sitting as 107. He's not putting any drone video because the FAA still has this ridiculous situation where if you post a video of drone flying to YouTube, you must have a 107. It's commercial. It's like, what? If you've got a monetized YouTube channel and you post videos from your drone, you're deemed to be commercial, must have a 107. Because somehow the fact that you earn $10 a month from YouTube makes your flying all that much more dangerous, that you need to have all these certifications. It is utter crap. And it just speaks to the lies and deception that are backing up all these rules and regulations. It's a tax on business at the very least, but there's no sense. Even New Zealand CAA draws no distinction between commercial and non-commercial because they know that the risk profile of the same flight, whether you paid for it or not, does not change.
Yeah. Oh, look, Ian's here. Ian's here. Kevin's here. You've missed I know you're having your supper, Kevin, but you missed a bit where we're talking about these guys. Now we think we know who one of them is. Look at this again. I have got their website now, and I think, this is kind of the interesting one because I don't think we know who this lot is. But this one, the Mini, this one has the potential to absolutely, you would buy it, wouldn't you? If it's $300, it's going to blow the Fimi, the other small Chinese clone market out the water. If it's one of those.
Wow, it's got a 328,000 foot long distance transmission. Seriously, has it got 5G or something?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what it says. I can only believe. I mean, nobody puts mistruths.
It's an incredibly long line of sight. I would think the curvature of the Earth would get in the way.
Yes, damn that Earth. So so they've got their website now, and it says here we are Hong Kong-based startup working on innovative products. And look, there's their HQ. I mean, that's not a generic building shot in any way.
I was going to say that looks like a stock image. Oh, do a reverse image. Go on, do a reverse image.
Okay. Search image with Google. You can't see
it. It certainly looks like a startup's product, doesn't it? Immature, needing a lot of work, like nothing else on the planet.
No, they just happen to be in the same building as these people. I mean, come on, you can
talk about innovative. We've seen nothing like it before.
And look, there appears to be some windows that are like that. What's this? Modern slavery? Oh, my hat.
It even flies with the arms folded up. Look at that in a mountain setting. That must be the free fall mode. Like those birds that they tuck their wings in, they can dive. It's innovative to a fault.
Yeah. I'm sure it's better than my Mini One. Yeah, it's that's an interesting one. There seems to certainly be 2, if not 3, outlets about to be selling drones from Malaysia. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how all that plays out. And the green color, JD Jones, exactly. JD, yeah, exactly. The green color is it's either definitely going to be AUVSI green compliant, or they're just taking the mickey. One or the other. It's either will be or won't be. We'll find out on the 17th. Now, Ian actually did send me. Let's try and present this as well. You sent me this. Maybe you can unpack this.
Yeah, this gave me a giggle because obviously the main thing I tweet about is drone related stuff, but I do have a few subjects I also do the odd tweet on, and one of them is about the leasehold in England and Wales, because a lot of foreign investors and that don't realize, but it's a complete rip-off here. We've got basically in England, we've got going on what used to happen with Spanish timeshares. So you can buy properties in England and think you bought the property, but you've actually bought a load of services along with it that you've got to pay for. You have no say on how much these cost and how efficiently they're done. Sometimes you're paying for services that don't even happen. So these poor folk in Blackpool, in the UK, near Blackpool Airport, bought their house thinking, we just bought, we bought a house. And they said, oh, well, you've got this little minor service charge just to take care of the nice little piece of grass and that you see here and whatnot. And they were like, oh, yeah, fair enough. We can afford to pay for this piece of grass and whatnot. And it turns out, and I don't know how this has come about, but it looks like Blackpool Council did a deal where they said, we will let you have this land to put houses on it, but you must pay for the fire service at the airport scaring away birds. So if you click through on this story, the people here now, so you've got this small group of people that are footing a bill for £44,000 to scare away the birds at the airport. And I said for a bit of a mick take that, how long before an airport thinks they can just put the counter drone service charge on nearby housing. But yeah, if this has actually happened, then there's actually nothing stopping you doing something along those lines. So, this is a bit of a surprise.
This is part of the planning permission for these houses to be built. The council got this put in so they'd let them build the houses.
It must be along those lines, because why else would you wouldn't agree to pick up a charge that the entire town should be paying? So I can only imagine that they've somehow said you're paying for this to scare away birds. And I'm like, wow, because I hear these every day, and every time it's more amazing. And this one I double take because I thought, wow,
this is the current winner.
Extreme one, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing. Yeah, yeah. Bird scaring used to be me with a shotgun, or me driving a van with the speakers going. But yeah, I can imagine they'd use the.
I must admit, it's a single business. You could set up a limited company and be doing that bird scaring for less than 44,000.
People do that. People, well, would they? I mean, if that's your only airport, and you'd have to employ a mate because it's hours 24. So, well, not quite hours 24 there.
They don't feel like night, do they?
No, they probably don't at Blackpool.
No. Neither do the
birds. I've actually landed there in emergency once upon a time, but that's another story. I went to visit Blackpool. Those. I will tell a bit of this story. You know those old gas holder things that used to go up, big like biscuit tins that went up when they were full of gas. So the chap says to me, just let me know when you can see the gas holders. And the weather was really, really bad, very, very foggy. I said, I can't see the gas holders. He says, you must be able to see. I can't see the gas holders. You must be able to see them. I can't see the gas holders.
And I mean those big round
yeah, things, the big round biscuit tins. Yeah.
It's like watching a Madonna concert, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, they were empty of gas. They were nearly on the deck, so I couldn't see them because they were just about empty. But
it was coal gas, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I think that they made coke, and the gas that was hydrogen that came off, amongst other things. I remember when I was a kid, we lived, and there was one just down the road, and you could buy coke for your fire, and they made gas from the coal. Fantastic! Yeah. You don't see that these days.
No.
Can't afford the dinosaurs.
Yeah. Yes, bring them back. So
there is a drone connection to that airport as well, because Brendan did a post in the last few weeks that Boston Dynamics have one of their spots at an airport doing the bird scaring. So you could actually automate that. You could buy one of their spots and have that doing the job from now until it needs replacing. So just a thought there.
You could. That's not where one of those spots got shot up. I mean, Blackpool's a rough old place now, as you can imagine. Did you see it saved the day, allegedly?
No, I missed that one.
Yeah, got shut up in, I think it was in Los Angeles, I think it was, something like that. Went in, they sent it into a hostage situation, and it took all the bullets. Something like that. Something like that. So what else have we seen this week, boys? We seem to rush through things there.
No, it's been pretty quiet again, hasn't it? Outside of the, But
there's the Malaysian thing when it shows its hand eventually is going to be very interesting. We're rushing up to AVSI, and then we'll see what really what it is. I'm struggling to believe that there are 3 companies suddenly making stuff in Malaysia, and they all don't know about each other, and they don't know what the place can do.
Do us a favour while you're chatting away, Gary. Can you pass us the link to where that image was of their office, so I can do a reverse image look at while you're having a chat and see if.
Didn't you see the reverse image I did? Did you?
No, you didn't share it.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. That bit made no sense at all. Then did it?
No, but that's pretty normal. We're used to this. A guessometer. Yeah, Andrew got it right. A guessometer.
Guessometer. How can I? Well, let's see if I can share that. Present. I'll do it because I'm sorry, I didn't realize. Where is it? I've got it on the side of my screen. Oh, why is it? It's not letting me do it. All right, I'll put the link in the chat. I'll put the link in the main chat. But that made no sense at all. As you say, no change there, is there? From what I normally do.
Oh, save you the trouble.
Oh, there you are. Bird strikes are more common in peacetime countries. No, I'm sorry. Why isn't Google Lens? Let's see if we can't get that to share in another way. Yeah, because that's why I was laughing, because it was window. There we go. I think I can do it like this. Here we are. So there's the image. There is the image. And here it is here in this place. And here. Oh, but it's not changing as I click.
Now, one of those looks like a mirror image of.
Oh, yeah, that is the same building mirror image, doesn't it?
Yeah. It is. Yeah. It is. Yeah. No,
but I mean, is it in Hong Kong?
Oh, wait, hang on. No, that one's different, isn't it? Is one there that's definitely 100% the same?
One near the top there was.
This one
keep going up.
Oh, yeah, that one.
That one is. Yeah.
What's that building? Does it tell you where it is?
Modern Slavery. No, that was this. This image.
I've got multiple. Let me put it in the chat, Gary. I've got multiple hits on the exact same image.
Yeah.
Tonight, which is quite good. It even gives you the date of the very first use and stuff.
There's loads of windows. There could be dozens and dozens and dozens of companies in there. Come on, be fair.
I think with your new startup, you could afford a cameraman to go out and get yourself a unique photo of your actual building.
But is that actually a building in Hong Kong?
No, and it's not the building. If you look at if you put their address that did all the FCC stuff in, you'll see it.
So they're lying about where they live.
Yeah, they've got a.
Oh, that's always a good start. It's always a good start. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, look at it.
Is it Malaysia or Hong Kong? This one. This is Hong Kong.
The company's in Hong Kong, but they're building in Malaysia.
Yeah. Well, American Express has got an office in Hong Kong.
Well, exactly. Yes. Exactly.
I remember the ads with Carl Malden. He told us.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I don't even know who Carl Malden is.
Oh, he's an old actor with a funny nose. I keep forgetting I'm very old.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go back. Have they got? No, they don't have the address on here. So let's go.
Oh, I think it's in Germany. Possibly.
Oh, is it?
Well, it's pretty close to Hong Kong. Isn't it a suburb of Hong Kong?
Yeah, absolutely.
So someone's used this for a German address anyway, so somebody's lying.
Who do you think it would be? The German company or the Hong Kong company?
This is the Taoyao building, so let's go to there. Here it is.
The Taoyao building, eh?
Oh, open the image in new tab. Is this?
Oh, do they have Street View? Do they have Street View in Hong Kong?
Let's do that. It's not a bad plan. How am I going to bang that out? It's not showing. Yeah, it's not actually. It's not actually.
Work, eh?
It's not actually letting me Street View it up.
It's because it's China.
Oh, look. CPA Australia. Yeah, there's loads of people in there. Look. Yeah, so that's where it is. Taoyao building, etc., etc., etc.
It's probably just a serviced office somewhere, shared office.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. Rather than installing safety nets around, is it possible on analog HT0? I don't know. Freedom likes Blackpool. Flying at night with Canex. They're talking FPV stuff. What a pity that he ends in the caravan.
His walk snail's not as good as DJI yet. I saw a very good video posted the other day with someone doing some testing with the latest revision of software, and the image degradation with detail was quite high, and also there were some real RF issues at what I consider to be relatively close ranges. So it's still an option if you don't want to go the DJI route. But because I think the new O4 is probably going to have remote ID built into it and stuff like that. If you want to steer away from that sort of rubbish, then the walk snail works perfectly fine for most people. It's probably more suited to fixed wing than to quads, although I would say, based on my own playing around with it, because you don't tend to fly fixed wing as low and get all that grass and all the detail that makes the picture go all muddy. You're up higher, and so it looks just as good as DJI if you're up high enough, and so you're not getting rapid movement. But when you get rapid movement, the compression just can't quite keep up.
This was Kevin's comment on that earlier, because I think somebody else before that had said that they won't care for the parts made in China. But of course, it's the FCC that is the ban that everyone's worried about. Yeah. That is seeming to be moving on, and that's super clever because that's not talking about so much about it's made in China. It's talking about, well, the FCC, will just revoke your authority to use it. It'll have the same effect. And it's the amount of chatter there is about it. I think people must be thinking it's fairly likely to happen.
The trouble is most politicians think there's half a dozen US companies waiting in the wings to take up all the slack.
Absolutely. And if these guys come in with their made in Malaysia gear and it all works, as even it only works for a year, there'll be police departments, fire departments, and things like that. They'll be ripping their arm off for them. They'll be ripping their arm off. It'll completely flatten Skydio. It'll completely flatten them. So I mean, if that is what's happening, then it's a heck of a clever move. It's a heck of a clever move.
So when did China buy Malaysia? Must have been recently. I must have missed that in the headlines.
Well,
I mean, they've bought quite a few South Pacific nations by way of investments with large debts owed.
Oh, they've bought here. They've bought Africa. Yeah. They completely own Africa. It's quite a thing because they come in and they'll build a new road, and when they say they're coming to do a little bit of mining, see that hill over there, see that big hill and that forest and that whatever.
That has a different meaning in South Africa to Ukraine, right? Mining.
Well, yes, yeah. But they'll take it, they'll take it, they'll dig it up. They're gone. The whole hill will be gone. The whole forest will be gone. And then that new road they built, they'll drive everything out on it, and they'll say cheero.
And they'll take all that hill and they'll put it in the middle of the sea near some place where they want an island, eh? Yeah. They're building islands like mad in the Pacific.
Yeah, absolutely extraordinary. What they do here for really very little money. They manage to purchase things for very, very little money. So yeah, fair play to them, I suppose. Present. I've been sent this extra thing to show. Let's find it. This one.
Yeah, Canada is increasingly becoming a place that's starting to suck, isn't it? They're doing stuff where I fear of a council here still saw what they're doing there. They think, woo, lovely idea. So we've got one here that's decided that if you're taking a photograph on public land, anyone, you're going to be paying $90.
Well, that's fair enough, though, isn't it? I mean, you're using a valuable resource. You've got to pay for it.
Yeah.
Canada's terrible. Like Canada, I hope we got a Canadian in the audience, but Canada is such a totalitarian country now. I mean, when they had the plague and they had all the lockdowns, they locked people's bank accounts for simply being associated with protests. They froze their bank accounts and and they want to introduce digital currency so they can do the same thing more easily. I would not want to live in Canada. Australia's worse though. Australia's pushing for the digital ID, and yesterday they had a take cash out day where everyone was encouraged to go and take money out of the bank, because now in Australia there are moves afoot that will make paying any debt of more than paying any cash or no transactions of more than $500 in cash. Yeah. And they just want to move cash out of the system because it gives them complete control over everything. The problem is that when we see situations like in the supermarkets in the UK, when the payment system fails, the electronic system, you're left high and dry out in the cold. All we need is another Carrington event and we're all paupers.
Yeah, no, same here. They're trying to do exactly the same here, and people are railing against it and are refusing to play with electronic means in some places. Our Woolworths, which is a shop they used to have in England, that they tried to do that. They tried to go cashless, and that was not happening. That was not happening.
Did you see the Apple one thing? You know, Apple had those sort of walkout stores where you could walk in, pick up your goods and walk out. Not Apple, it was Amazon.
Amazon,
walk in, grab your stuff and walk out. Do you know how they did that? They had a whole lot of people sitting in India watching them with cameras, apparently. It was in the media this morning. That's why they've cancelled it. It's not economic. So it wasn't fancy high-tech stuff. It was a whole lot of Indians watching people on closed-circuit TV, seeing what they picked up and took out. How does that work?
Yeah, I know. AA and the UTM, the Coventry land, is that thing, is Sparkways, if you're there, has that vertiport actually been built yet, the one that Hyundai was going to do? Because I know Coventry Council and Oxford Council very much got together and were trying to work on fees for flying over council land, and that's in the same way that I believe taxi drivers have to pay a fee for being within city zone bounds, city extents in those cities. And they want exactly the same system to happen as soon as you fly your delivery drone or flying car. Oh, I saw a thing again. Join me on LinkedIn and moan at stuff. Some two young guys as well, banging on about how safe, and they must be called flying cars. Of course, they're flying cars, and they're so much better than helicopters. And
absolutely,
helicopters have got a terrible safety record.
I wish Richard was here today. I wish Richard was here today because I got a bone to pick with him. Did you see that picture of all the drones and things flying in the sky with Altitude Angels watermark on the bottom of it on Twitter, on X? It was posted about the future of drone stuff and the new sky corridor that's being set up. What was it on? It was on, might have been the Daily Mail even, but it had Altitude Angel there, what the skies will look like. And it was all delivery drones and flying cars. And I'm thinking, Richard, seriously, what's making over there at Altitude Angel?
I don't think he'll be coming back.
It was awful. I thought, God,
really, blast! I should have invited him. I'll invite him now. No, I won't invite him.
I know he relies on that for his business model, but really, it was one
of
those 3D
they did have and it might be the same image, Bruce. I thought it was a bit concerning. Just the sketch they'd had done even included a EHang looking.
That's the one.
That's one.
And delivery drones at precarious angles. It was really poorly done. It was a Photoshop job. This drone's sort of diving for the ground, and it looked terrible. But it had Altitude Angel in the corner.
Yeah, the thing that gets me with that is you don't want to associate yourself with companies that that could have a bad press in future.
No.
Which with even an image like that, you're hinting a connection that isn't there, and you're better off not doing. Better to come up with just something completely fictional looking.
Well, hang on. Let me just create. I'm just creating a picture.
Gary's at it again. Look at him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the art. It's the art in me. I've just quickly,
I'm going to say one note while you're doing that. Last week when we had Richard here, actually, we were talking about the airports. The screenshot was actually Leeds East Airport. I didn't even know that. I mean, I live locally, and I didn't even know there was Leeds East Airport. So, yeah, there's a small airport, and then there's the Leeds Bradford. So they're actually both on Altitude Angel, but they charge different fees. So it wasn't the Leeds Bradford fee gone up. It's the charge different fees. But Leeds Bradford is more expensive, but you can purchase a 6-monthly pass. So if you work around there regularly, instead of having to pay the fee every time you want the permission, you can pay something up front. That's the impression it gives me anyway. I don't know whether you pay that fee and still have to pay something or not, because I've not tried it.
Well, look, I've been very quick and I've used my crayons. It hasn't really worked, but give me a bit longer. We could also get the thing. It's interesting that I find it interesting that if you ask an AI to draw your drone, what it thinks they are, the types they are. It's very interesting, the training data they've got.
You're lucky to have got like a Mavic there, because the trouble is AI is as bad as it's probably because all the stock imaging we keep getting is of phantoms to be misleading. It's actually feeded into the AI that thinks, oh, that must be what a drone looks like, even though it's not anymore.
You also end up with a lot of tricopters. It can't count arms any better than it can count fingers.
Yeah. No, well, we did give Rich a hard time last week. We definitely gave him a hard time, but hopefully he'll come back one day.
Well, it is a sport.
It is. Yes, it is a sport. That's true. Yeah, that's it. That's our gym meeting for the week or whatever. Yeah, that's our sports lesson. What did I want to? There was something else I'd seen that but I can't remember what it is now.
Was it that Alzheimer's diagnosis you're going to tell us about? Or?
Exactly. I can't remember. Exactly. The Coventry thing and the council land, it's very. I know what it was. It is in relation to that. It's all very cart before the horse. And of course, Paris for the coming Olympics made a big deal about urban air mobility vehicles being there. And it was the German one. The name escapes me now. And
the V1.
Yeah. Or the quicker one, the V2. Yeah. No, yeah, that's it. That's the one. But there's no way. There is no way they're going to have something certified and ready to go by the Summer Olympics. There is just no way. And I can't even believe they'll have volocopter. I can't even believe they'll have something that they would let fly up and down the Seine, only over the water for demonstration flights either. I cannot see it.
You'd end up going insane, wouldn't you?
You would end up going insane. Very good. Set him up well there, didn't they? But it just, how they think that's going to happen and how they think they're going to survive beyond all these companies, beyond the hype numbers, because we're missing every single one.
Have you noticed that all these Dubai, where's all these flying taxis in Dubai they were going to have going within a year or so, several years ago? There's none of them. They were the same people that were going to buy all those Martin jetpacks for fighting skyscraper fires too, and they never did. Dubai is a funny place, isn't it? They jump on every bandwagon. They even had the drone racing, that big drone racing event there. Drone racing is the future. They just buy into everything. I don't know why. Maybe they're really
I don't think that. I bet they even do. I bet you could basically just say to Dubai, we want to turn up this event, present it as though this is being taken seriously here, and you do your PR, and then you just close the whole thing down and move on. Because, like you say, everything that appears there doesn't actually end up being a true business over there. It's almost like it uses itself as a press showcase for every gimmick that you want to come up with, or every new potential business, and you make it out to be a lot more mature than it is. I mean, I always remember the one with the the flying bike, which I don't know whether that was Russian or not. But
Johnny got it. Johnny got it. That one, yeah.
Oh, this is the one, yeah. The police on the motorcycles, and it actually crashed, and it's like, ooh. But you make a good point when you do it with the Olympics. World's on you. Imagine if you do rush to get an eVTOL there, something goes wrong, you destroyed the market there and then in that one.
Mind you, they used the jetpack at the LA Olympics, eh?
Oh, they did, but that was quite an established. Compared to these things,
it's much safer. There's been I don't think there's been any fatalities from those rocket packs. I don't think there has there?
They're not in the air long enough, are they? They
only got 30 seconds for the hydrogen peroxide ones. Yeah, you can get pretty high in that time.
It's about 7 minutes, isn't it? The one I've seen flying about.
They got the ones with the turbo jets.
You're talking about the new modern.
Yeah, we're talking about the hydrogen peroxide and a silver catalyst. Yeah, they were great. James Bond had one, man.
That's right, he did, didn't he? And it's exactly the same concept as with the jets, but different.
Actually, I saw a news story, some new drone that was going to have the rotating pulse detonation engine, and they showed a picture of it flying, and it was powered by hydrogen peroxide. Well, that's not what they use in rotating pulse detonation engines. Hydrogen peroxide is a monopropellant that creates steam, and it's a pretty traditional rocket propellant in some areas. So that was, again, there's so much hype. What do you believe in these media press releases? They're full of rubbish.
Yeah, well, people are trying to sell stuff, aren't they? And Cool Cat saying Dubai is a young society. Look, I think we've got somebody from the Ministry of Dubai. That's such a. Is Cool Cat rich?
He's on the payroll. He's on the payroll.
That's the sort of answer Richard would come up with.
But they do have cool police cars, Lamborghinis, and all sorts.
Yeah, that's a weird place. You have to. That's one of the cheap ways of getting to Europe from here. Or cheaper ways, and right from Durban. And
look at that 4 kilometre long airport building, haven't they? Amazing. Yeah. I wouldn't want to have to traverse that.
I've done it. It's a funny place when you go there. It really is, and you can see the whole country as you're on approach. You can see it's stuff of nonsense, really, and it changes every time I go there. But
pretty strict drone laws too.
Yeah, and too careful to say, but our ministers here really enjoy their trips to Dubai. Very often in Dubai.
Fact-finding missions, are they?
And they take all sorts of stuff with them to Dubai, all sorts of gifts and souvenirs for the people of Dubai, which are held for them in banks and things. Very, very, very
good. We live in a wonderful world, don't we? We should be happy of the things that we see and observe. Yeah.
Yes, not in any way have most of our really dodgy criminal interactions occurred at meetings up there. That would never ever happen. Yeah, no, it's a very funny thing. And so when you fly there to go to Europe, unfortunately, you end up going like 5 hours away to get out there, and then you go back across. Yeah. It's like, it's
more of a ricochet than a connecting flight. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. How to understand sort of fooling their money. Teaching AI microphone. Oh, look at these comments that I don't understand. Yeah. So, what else have we seen? Let's try and make this one an hour, just to be unusual. Oh, God, I've already failed because I'm going to ask that. Alien's going to now go for 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. We should have started that. After we...
I should have. When we started, yeah.
I was going to link back to the fact that you mentioned EHang because it was April the 1st. That was that's yesterday now, isn't it?
Yeah,
the day before yesterday.
Yeah, day before yesterday for him. Yeah,
for Bruce. Yeah. That was when they officially started selling them. So, which I thought was kind of a comedy date to do it, but they obviously won't realise the meaning of that date in the UK. But the share price did jump on the sort of anticipation of this week. So it gone from about $10 to $20, although it's back at 17 at the minute. So I know it's Bruce.
I'm going to buy into health and accident and emergency supplies.
Yes,
Be a big demand.
Someone mentioned nets earlier. Yeah, nets to run around underneath for them. But I believe they sold one. I believe there's somebody's put out the $300,000 or whatever it is on.
There's always someone silly enough to do that.
Although we still haven't seen what the case is with the battery and how many of those you need and what the real price works out. It'd be interesting to see someone that does try and pull that into commercial use.
Where are they going to do it?
I don't know, but these fellows on LinkedIn were going on about now I forgot what they said about the batteries and how it's all coming. No, it was something else they said. It was just absolute nonsense. It was just such nonsense, and it was something like, no, it wasn't CNN, but it was one of the American bigger broadcasters. And I just thought, have you done absolutely zero due diligence on?
It'd be Fox News then.
There was one of the US ones that did an interview, and a lot of people jumped on it. They hadn't asked any of the difficult questions, and it was almost like a PR exercise with the kind of childish basic questions that were asked and answered. So you didn't really get any insight. At the moment, when you look at their own messaging that's going out, everything is just, we're using it for a tourist flight because it's the only economic use, because it's the only way you can say to somebody with your cough up, and there'll be a lot of money there as well. I think it's over £100 per flight. So what you're essentially doing is you go into some location that itself attracts people and say, we can fly over this big cavern, whatever, and it'll be £100. And there's some people that have got the money to do it, but even then, you still got a limited number. And once you've done it once, you're not going to be paying again for that same experience.
You've helped me remember. That's exactly what it was. They were saying the cost of helicopters is prohibitive. No one can afford helicopters, and they trotted out that a very original years ago. It was a lot that were going to do it, and they've also bailed now. But they had that like $1 per seat mile or whatever it was. That is incredibly low number for whatever it's been. They trotted that out. It's like, but they've already gone bust. They haven't even that analysis hasn't even.
And those numbers don't add up even with EHang's own figures.
Yeah, or any of them's figures. It's just like, what are you talking about? Yes, helicopters are expensive, but they're certified. They work. People know how
something that size. A Robbie 22 or something is not that expensive. It's probably the same price as the EHang or less.
Definitely is. And you know all the numbers, 2,200 hours for the airframe before it needs a total, you know all the numbers.
Just put your control system in that. You don't have to worry about recharging and all that other rubbish. It's just, infrastructure's already there.
Exactly. Did we see this larger thing? I've forgotten what they're saying it is in Ukraine that hit the Shahid factory.
Like a 172.
Yeah, but and they're saying it's what? Yeah, exactly. Like what's his name? Matthias Rust flew into Red Square, but they're saying it's whatever it was, but it looks more like a different sort of ultralight to me. But that was quite a good hit. Oh, yeah, I remember the other thing I argued about on it's me that's extending it too long now on LinkedIn. ICAO have put up this they're talking about advanced air mobility, and they put, what was it, a Spark, the Air 2, what was the little thing? It was one of the sub 250 DJI drones was the picture. And I said, why have you got a picture of that on
the Tello? Was it the Tello?
Yeah, it was something like that. It was one of the smaller ones. And the lady comes back, she says, we have a very, very broad definition of AAM at ICAO. And I said, the word's mobility. Who's that lifted? It's like, come on. It's a bit ranty. But no, come on, dear viewers. Find me on LinkedIn. Join me at chucking vegetables and rotten fruit at people on LinkedIn. It's nuts. So that's my extra ranting for 3 minutes. What's your extra ranting, Ian? Can we stop it?
I don't think I'm ready this time. What I was doing was EHang. I was having a look at their Twitter feed, and it looks like they did a live stream with Alibaba that allowed you to buy one whilst it was on air. So it was like home shopping channel. With,
so if you buy your EHang now, you'll get 6 free steak knives. Our operators are standing by.
Spinning around on each arm, haven't they? There's lots of steak knives there.
0800 free funeral.
Yeah, gravity sucks. Yeah. No, well, I don't think they'll ever go into operation anywhere, will they?
No, there's not certified anywhere but China, and that's only for sort of pissing around, isn't it?
Yeah, no, they won't.
It is, but everyone just keeps spinning it as though it's a full certification. Unfortunately, you've just got people that have got shares in something, want to boost it, and I'll just post anything. So people casually reading it will believe.
Have you noticed how dense
it is?
Notice how dense investors are. So many investors throw huge amounts of money at projects with zero due diligence, without consulting someone who might know. They just take everything at face value, and then they go, "Oh my God, we were swindled. We've been ripped off. We've lost our money." Really, it's not that hard to find someone who knows a bit and query them, or even just do a Google search and find out what's going on. But people, how do these people get so much money if they're that stupid?
Parents.
Oh yeah, inherited wealth. Or they're just.
Yeah, I hope my next parents will be wealthier. That's for sure.
Yeah,
that route to market's not worked for me.
And if anybody's looking to adopt Gary, just email me and I'll give you the details.
Yes, that's a GoFundMe, isn't it? I mean, help me become a minimum viable product. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it's in the modern world.
On that note, though, there was a company from the UK over the EHang. I think there were another UTM supplier. We don't have enough of them.
We need more.
Get some more.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they were over there. And so I did have to. I said, I hope you've done your due diligence. I just thought, leave it at that.
Yeah, no, it's not going to work. And I think this summer in the northern hemisphere is the summer when we're going to see some of them falling apart. These UAM, AMM companies, because they're just not hitting their targets, promises, or whatever. And the Olympics was a big one. If that happened, that was a big advert. That ain't going to happen.
Put your money in AI, people. Put your money in AI. It's much better investment. Yeah. And if you want to take advantage of Gary's crypto offer, he's starting a new coin.
Do people still
He's going to be the
that?
Crypto king now that Mr. Banks-Free or whatever's been locked up.
Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, I see what you mean. I see where you're going with that. Oh, here we are. He's found the advert. Let's put that
up. No, this is something else. I think I might buy this for myself in the background.
Oh, like your Space 1999 thing. I was just a little one.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
$609. There you go. Is it the buy now price?
Buy now, yeah. To avoid disappointment.
Wood model.
Wood, yeah, wouldn't go. Like I made a wooden car. Oh yeah, no, look, all sorts of them.
Oh, is this these people like they live like a lot of Philippines and Malaysia? They carve these things out of wood and put them on eBay and things. Aircraft and all sorts of little models carved out of wood.
Yeah,
that's a good one that was scrapped.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not sharing it. Share this. The Maxwell. No. They scrapped that, didn't they? But there we are. Right. On that note, with that one showing, because that'll end up being the thumbnail. Dear viewers, wherever you are in the world, thanks for putting up with us. We were very much as.
Please seek medical attention immediately.
Exactly. Yes, that's right. Yes. Thank goodness Google's not selling your browser searches anymore. Look after yourselves wherever you are in the world. We'll see you again. 2100 GNT. I've got to say that properly next week. Look after yourselves, everyone. Take care. Cheers for now.